Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really cool academic paper about a hybrid AI called KGQuest, and it tackles a problem that's way trickier than it sounds. How do you automatically generate millions of quiz questions without them sounding, totally robotic, or even worse, without them just making stuff up, what we in the biz call hallucinating?
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll get a handle on the core problem here. Then, we'll look at the two classic ways people have tried to solve this and why they don't quite work. After that, we'll introduce our hero, KGQuest, and see what makes it tick. We'll look at the pretty stunning results and then wrap up with why this whole thing really matters.
So, you ever been on a quiz app or some educational site and just wondered where all those questions come from? I mean, an endless stream of them? Well, it turns out that making that happen is a massive technical headache.
And here's the fundamental problem, right? You need to be able to create millions of questions, and they have to be factually perfect, no mistakes. But they also have to sound natural, like a real person wrote them. And for a long time, AI developers were stuck. They had to make a really tough choice.
Yeah, you were basically forced to pick one. You could have accuracy and scale, generating millions of factually perfect questions no problem. Or you could have quality and fluency, making questions that sound like they were actually written by a human. But getting both at the same time? Nope. Historically, you just couldn't do it.
And this whole trade-off created two very different schools of thought. For fun, let's call them the rigid robot and the creative dreamer.
Okay, so on one side, you've got the rigid robot. This method uses strict, predefined templates. Think of it like a fill-in-the-blanks game. It's super scalable and always factually accurate, which is great. The problem? The questions often sound, well, robotic, awkward, even ungrammatical. Then you have the creative dreamer. This uses those big, powerful, large language models. The AI behind things like ChatGPT. And the questions it writes? They sound amazing, super fluent, totally natural. But, and this is a huge but, they have a nasty habit of just making things up. That's the hallucination problem. Plus, using them for millions of questions is incredibly slow and costs a fortune.
So you see the problem, right? Two options, and both are seriously flawed. You get accuracy or you get fluency, but you can't have both. And this is exactly where the researchers behind KGQuest had their big aha moment.
Instead of picking one side, they asked a brilliant question. Why not combine them? Why not take the best parts of both worlds? What if you could take the robot's rock-solid accuracy and speed and just sprinkle in a little bit of the dreamer's linguistic magic?
So, how do they actually pull this off? Let's get into the secret sauce. It's a really elegant four-step process.
Okay, stick with me here. Step 1. They start with what's called a knowledge graph. Just think of it as a giant, super organized database of facts. They group all the similar facts together, like putting all the author of facts in one big pile. Step 2. They create a super basic robot-style template for each pile, something like, who is the author of blank? Step 3, and this is the genius part. They take that one simple template and show it to a powerful LLM, just once. They say, hey, can you make this sound better? The LLM polishes it up, and that new, improved wording becomes the new master template. And finally, step 4. They take that one polished template and use it to instantly generate thousands and thousands of perfect, natural-sounding questions. The expensive AI is already out of the picture.
And that right there is the core innovation. It's so smart. You're using the big, expensive, creative AI surgically. You're not asking it to do the heavy lifting of writing every single question. No way! You're just using it for one tiny, high-impact job. Polish the template. That's it. It's all about maximum impact for minimum cost. And, crucially, with almost zero risk of making up facts. So, does it work?
Oh, you better believe it works. The results in the paper are, and I'm not exaggerating, absolutely stunning, both when it comes to quality and efficiency.
Just take a look at the quality improvement. This chart shows the number of errors they found in a sample set of questions. Before the LLM polish, the basic templates had all sorts of grammar, formatting, and syntax errors. But after that one quick refinement step, look at those numbers. 0, zilch, nada. The errors were completely wiped out. And you can really hear the difference. The before question is, well, it's a mouthful. What is the location of Princeton George Washington 1961 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament game? Yikes! But look at the after version.
What is the location where the Princeton George Washington 1961 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament game took place? See? So much better. It's way more natural, way more fluent. And the best part? It's still 100% factually locked in, because the AI only tweaked the phrasing, not the facts.
Okay, so the quality is perfect, flawless even. But what about speed? Remember, that was the other huge piece of the puzzle. And honestly, the efficiency gains here are where this thing goes from clever to a total game changer.
Get this. To refine all the templates they needed to generate more than 367,000 questions, it took about 9 minutes. 9 minutes! That's it! To set up the machine to crank out over 1/3 high-quality questions.
Okay, but what if you tried to do that the old way, using a big LLM for every single question? Well, the researchers estimate it would take over 160 hours. Let that sink in. We're talking 9 minutes versus an entire week of a computer working 24/7. It's not even in the same league.
So what's the big takeaway here? I mean, yeah, it's awesome for making better quiz apps for sure, but the real story is so much bigger than that. This is basically a blueprint for a whole new, smarter way of building AI.
What KGQuest really shows us is a model for building AI systems that are 1. Incredibly efficient. We're talking orders of magnitude faster and cheaper. 2. They're reliable, because you get the factual accuracy of templates with the fluency of an LLM. And 3. They're trustworthy. It basically solves the hallucination problem by keeping the AI on a very short leash. This is about using AI as a precision tool, not just a giant, unpredictable hammer.
And that kind of leaves us with a really interesting thought, doesn't it? Maybe the future of AI isn't about building one single, giant, all-powerful brain. Maybe it's about building smarter teams of AI, where different, specialized tools work together, each one playing to its own strengths. A future where clever combination is more powerful than raw brute force.